if anything, American leadership is in a period of pivoting to recovery and consolidation in a world that is full of challenges, which Bill Kristol has just expounded on in some great detail. And those are all real challenges. But a measure of leadership is not that you have a difficult mountain to climb. It's how you handle getting over that mountain. So the fact that we have challenges ahead of us, the fact that we've been struggling with a dynamically changing world, that is not evidence of a lack of leadership. And in fact, I think we're at a point right now in 2021, as we come out of a global pandemic in which arguably the United States has performed better than any other country, that it's important to think about our leadership in terms of our fundamentals. So where are we right now? I want to talk briefly about leadership in just 4 realms: economic, military, technological, and what I would call ideational, the idea of America, how we're striving for and being an example to the world. In economic terms, the United States is doing shockingly well, considering 2 years ago we had the most calamitous economic crisis since the Great Depression, really. We've come out strong. We led the recovery. Unemployment is at 3.9%. Our GDP is $21 trillion. Significantly more than China still. And yes, China is rising, but don't forget China has 1.5 billion people. You know, when China's GDP is getting to be 6 times ours, well, then I'll be starting to worry. If you take the next 8 top countries by GDP, they're all American allies and partners. That's half the global economy. In terms of military strength, the same goes. The United States, our partners and allies, are still the undisputed global leaders. Corey will talk more about our hard power and more about the resilience of our system. But we are not at risk of losing, even if we do face challenges because of the horrible authoritarian nature of some of these adversarial states. Our leadership is not going to always lead to complete successes, but it is going to help lead the world in a positive direction. When it comes to technology, the 5 top American technology companies have a market capitalization of $8.5 trillion. We are the leaders in innovation. Where do young people want to go study? Where do they want to study and then continue in their field and set down roots and have a family? It's here. You don't want to go to China, even if China has great computer science programs, and then settle down with your family and start a new life in a one-party authoritarian state. So across all of those areas, the United States is probably in as strong a position as it's ever been. Others are rising, but we have the friends, we have the allies, and we have that last area, the idea of freedom, free markets, free people, that is really what we built our country on. And it's why we continue to be an inspiration to the world. And it's why even through difficult things like the war in Afghanistan that Bill Kristol rightly pointed out ended in a disaster, we had allies by our side, some 50 countries. Who else could marshal that? And I believe as we refocus on common challenges globally, we will be able to lead in this next decade.